Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Leadership Void Podcast. I'm Enrique with my co-host Vince to bring you the best in our veteran, military spouse, and first responder community. And Vince will introduce today's guest.
Thanks, my man. February is already gone. It's crazy how this is working out here. But, we're so excited to continue forward. Episode 202 here, we have with us Will Gibson, founder and CEO of VETS on Tap, all the way from Metro Jacksonville area, Florida. Hey, Will, thank you for being here. Tell us a little bit about you.
Hey, Vince, how's it going? Thanks for having me. Really a pleasure joining y'all today and look forward to the conversation. A little bit about me. I grew up in Dixon, Illinois, a small town about 100 miles west of Chicago on the way to Iowa, stuck in the middle of a bunch of cornfields. Joined the Navy to see the world and really just because I lacked a little bit of discipline at the time and wanted to be surrounded with some leadership and kind of grow myself. Served 22 years in the Navy, starting in 1995 and retired in 2017. Through that time, I learned how to network, especially that last year as I was transitioning out. Networked my way into a job with Booz Allen Hamilton out in Jacksonville. So made one last move, and I've been here ever since.
Outstanding. And I spent some time in a little town called Rantoul,
Illinois.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And those little towns know each other. But it was my first service school in the Navy, happened to be on an Air Force base, and I enjoyed the rest of my career there as well. So you mentioned that transition. A lot of veterans have a hard time transitioning. It seems like you fell into a good thing by network, but then you get into this VETS on Tap. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, sure thing. So, like I said, when I was transitioning out of the Navy, I had already passed 20 years, but I was going through some medical issues as well, and so I was going through a med board, and so my time, my last day was not certain. I didn't know when that was going to be for a while, and so I knew that I had to start getting ready for that last day. And folks had encouraged me to go out and start networking. And so when I was in San Diego, there's a group there called Veterans Beer Club. It's a networking organization founded by three Marine veterans, and they were doing craft breweries. They were doing networking events there once a month. So I started going to those events, and that's where I really learned how to network and how to build those connections, and was reaching out to folks who had employment opportunities and learning about what was out there. And then when I was on terminal leave at my command, one of my buddies had taken off the uniform and went to work for Booz Allen. And we were talking, and I was asking him how that was going. He said, "You know what? Like, we're about to open a position out in Jacksonville, Florida. Are you up for a move?" And I was. So that little networking piece, helped me land that job. And I made the move out to Jacksonville. And when I got here, I started looking for networking opportunities. I didn't know anyone. I wanted to meet some folks out here. And I found very quickly there were no networking organizations for veterans. So I picked up the phone. I called the guys at Veterans Beer Club. I asked if I could start up a chapter. They agreed to that. They sent me their logo and their charter, and I got up and running in June of 2018 as a chapter of Veterans Beer Club. Things moved pretty quickly. So our first event, we had about 30 people. Then we had 45. Then we had 50 to 60. And the demand just started growing really fast because people really needed something like that here. And different organizations, veteran serving organizations here, had never really collaborated like that. And they wanted a fun place to go do that and reach veterans. So they asked for more. And as I was doing that and creating more events, starting to do more than one a month, I reached back to the guys at Veterans Beer Club, and it seemed that like our missions were kind of starting to dovetail and split a little bit to where they wanted to stick to the one a month model, and the things that we wanted to do were a little bit different. And I was fine with that. And so we separated and went our own ways, and we still maintain a good relationship. In fact, I think I'm going to be going to one of their events in June out in San Diego, and I travel there for work. But yeah, so I rebranded as VETS on Tap, and the rest is history. So we are at 175 events since June of 2018. We've got over 6,000 followers. We've done events in 7 other cities, including a chapter in Fredericksburg, Virginia, run by my friend Brett Taylor. And actually, I've got something exciting to announce. We're going to start a chapter in June in Chattanooga.
That is amazing. Chattanooga, Tennessee, correct?
That's correct.
All right, man. Congratulations on your journey. The power of networking, folks, is here for you.
Yep.
Living, breathing example and showcasing how camaraderie is built in the military, and we continue forward with Veterans Beer Club and then dovetail into Veterans on Tap. So congratulations on your journey, and Chattanooga, get ready. You're next on tap there. Um, so you pretty much an entrepreneur. So love to hear any challenges or lessons learned for starting this Veterans on Tap, or how do you get back to the community?
Sure. I think the first lesson is don't be afraid to ask, right? I at first, when I was starting to do this, I was really unsure how it was going to go. I had a little bit of fear, in my ear, saying like, "What if you fail? What if this is not going to work? Uh, and how do I do this?" And so, I asked a friend. You guys might be familiar with Bruce Thompson. He's another veteran influence here in the community, and he actually taught my TAP class in San Diego, and then moved out to Florida, and I kind of followed him out. So he'd already had the network built. I asked, "Hey, can you help me get this going?" And he said, "Absolutely." So, I drug my feet a little bit, and Bruce gave me the kick in the pants to, get over the hump. And it was just asking for help. The other thing is be specific with your ask, right? So sometimes I might need somebody to donate maybe food or a round of drinks in an event. Um, Go out and ask. There's people that want to help. If you don't, you'll never get to that yes. So you have to be, confident in what you want, and go out and realize that people are there to help you.
Well, they say closed mouths don't get fed. And so
That's correct.
that's a big tip for those that are starting out on their own. You have to be able to do that. And I love that, you shared some of this future for Chattanooga, but what's on the horizon for Vets on Tap?
Yeah. So in addition to Chattanooga, which is going to kick off actually during our 6-year anniversary month in June, June 15th, that's going to be our anniversary event. I'm going to be driving up for that. So that's one of our big events. The other thing is our 200th event will be in August 31st. It's going to be at Veterans United Craft Brewery. That's a Saturday night event. And Veterans United is where Vets on Tap started. It's where the first 2 Veterans Beer Club events happened. And so we're going back to our roots, and we're going to have a good time there celebrating 200 events.
Oh, absolutely. 200 events. June 15th will be the 6th-year anniversary. So kudos to everything going on there. I love everything you're doing there.
Yeah,
Now
thank you.
yeah, you're very welcome. Well, let's transition a bit and talk about, you did your time in the Navy doing booze-alling and now have this wonderful endeavor. What do you do to continue to sharpen your skills to aid you to thrive in your professional life?
I learn from others. I seek other experts out in the community, talk to them, try to learn how they do things, understand that I don't have all the answers. I have a monthly breakfast with a couple of friends. One's another nonprofit leader, and the other is an investor in mostly in real estate. But those 2 individuals give me a lot of extra knowledge and help me kind of hone what I'm doing here. You can't be afraid to learn. So I'm always excited to meet other people, including y'all, because you never know where the next knowledge drop's going to come from.
That's absolutely correct, because the more we collaborate and the more we lean on each other, the easier the load gets and the farther we will go. And I truly believe that. Great work that you're doing, uh, making sure that you sharpen yourself through others. Now, as you were growing up in the Navy, retired, and now in your, doing both work and this nonprofit, what advice did you receive that you would like to pass on to an emerging leader today?
Yeah, that's a good one. 2 things. Number one, stay true to your values. Uh, you know what got you here, right? And like for me, when I'm doing these events, I do have a lot of people reach out. Hey, it would be great if you did this, and oh, maybe that doesn't align with what I want to do. Or hey, you should monetize this and get paid. Well, no, I'm here to help, right? So you got to stick true to what your core values are. Number 2, and it kind of falls in line with that, is don't forget where you came from. When I came in, I was enlisted. I was fortunate to get selected for a commissioning program, Seaman to Admiral in the Navy. And when I got selected, I tell you what, I don't know how many chiefs came up and talked to me and said, "Hey man, don't forget where you came from. Remember your roots," right? And that's super important because it helped me to be able to relate to others when I was, when I became an officer and was leading divisions and departments of people, understanding where other folks came from and realizing that I had been there, kind of helped me build those relationships and grow them.
Definitely a great advice about knowing where you come from, knowing your values, especially an individual that's been on both sides of the coin when it comes to the military service. So again, appreciate your service and everything you've done there. And it takes you along, it took you a long way around the world, around the organization. So how about a memorable leadership aha moment that you've had either in the Navy or Booz Allen like to share with our audience today?
I think, it might come back to that. Don't forget where you came from, uh, because that really opened a lot of doors when I was able to, to recognize difficult situations, understand, empathize with others. I guess that's the aha moment, right? Is empathy. Um, putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, understanding what those difficulties might be, being approachable. Um, when you're side by side with somebody and can show them that you understand, you can get a lot more out of that relationship rather than being adversarial, for example.
Well, empathy definitely bridges a lot of roads together, a lot of people together, absolutely one of the key things that leaders need in their toolbox, or anyone actually, if you're trying to build a relationship. Now,
That's right.
you go through the military, you're having this endeavor. I'm sure that you have found yourself with challenging times in one way or another. So what are certain strategies you use with your team to deal with, or yourself, to deal with change or challenge?
Yeah, you know what? I think the biggest trouble word that a lot of us have, and maybe some don't recognize, is should. uh, this should have happened. It should be going this way. They should have done that. They should have helped me. If you start shoulding all over yourself, you get yourself in a lot of trouble. You got to deal with the situation that's in front of you. Don't worry about what you thought should happen. You got to look at what is happening and how do I deal with that? And that's where that happens a lot with change. When times are changing, when things are changing, you can't get angry about what you think it should be like. You got to react to what is there.
Absolutely. This is knowledge drop all the way from Will Gibson in Jacksonville, Florida. Don't shit on yourself, people. I appreciate I appreciate hearing everything you got going on. And you talk about, or you started out with the power of networking. So let's share with our audience how to get a hold of you or Vets on Tap to continue this growth.
Absolutely. You can find me on LinkedIn, and you can also find Vets on Tap there on LinkedIn, and you can find us on Facebook as well. Working on getting Instagram up. I'm a little slow on that one, on the uptake, but LinkedIn and Facebook are our main spots. We get all our events out there. I'm actually going to probably drop the March events today. We've got 4 events coming up next month, and we're excited about that.
Well, we are excited along with you. And folks, we will have all that information as part of the video and show notes for you to get a hold of Will and Vets on Tap. And if you'd like to get a hold of us at the Leadership Void Podcast, the leadershipvoid@gmail.com is where you'll send that correspondence. If you want Vince and I to have a special speaker or a leadership topic covered, you'll do it through those means.
And also, don't forget, we have great sponsors, Triple Nickel. We have FAVOB and A Hero for Kids sponsoring our show all throughout the year. Thank you for all they do. But today was all about Will Gibson, Vets on Tap, celebrating their 6th anniversary coming up in June, and also their 200th event soon. So please join them and, let's go forward together. Will, it's been a pleasure. Hope everything goes well, and we'll see you in the near future.
Hey, thanks, guys. It was a pleasure. Thank you very much.